Congratulations, you've clicked on a cracking video. It's going to be really good. It was so good, wasn't it, lads? It was
so good. Unbelievable.
Video. Just to say, there's more for your ears, at least. The podcast, there's a link to it. Where, lads? Down below, in the description. Enough of me chatting. Enjoy the video.
I think
loss of Madison, do you think? That's a big one.
Madison's is one
and
thing,
one other.
They've been hit financial fair play quite badly.
Josh Murphy.
Do you think he's a useless fucker?
I mean, Ben Marshall's a good signing. I didn't realise that one actually. And Jordan Rhodes is not a bad signing either. So maybe
worst hair in the championship.
Maybe a little bit low, but yeah, I think that it's a big year for them anyway.
Tim Krul will be the goalkeeper. Jordan Rhodes, I think, is a really good signing on loan.
Yeah,
I don't think he's had the love. Jordan Rhodes, he went to Middlesbrough, didn't really work out. I don't think they ever really utilised him properly. And Sheffield Wednesday did okay there, but I still think there's goals left in him. I always see him and go, yeah, that's a proper centre forward. And I think they can do better than they did last season. But I don't see them anywhere near the playoffs really. I think it's going to take them a little while. But you've gone down to 16.
Yeah, I think that's probably wrong looking at that.
12. I got 12.
Yeah, but I don't see them. I don't see them being up there though.
So I've got Norwich 10th, 11th. I've got Leeds, Bielsa. This is fucking mad. Bielsa being.
I got Leeds as third.
I've got Leeds as fourth.
Wow.
So they're buying Bamford and Vidra.
The Vidger's not happening.
Oh, is that not happening now?
No.
But they have got Bamford. They've used the loan market well. Lewis Baker
and Jamal Blackman.
Jamal Blackman is there as well.
Do you know what about? I'll say something about Leeds.
I didn't realise you could have. Sorry, I didn't realise you could have two players on loan for the same team.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Oh, I learned that today.
Barry Douglas is fucking quality.
He was at Wolves last season.
Yeah,
he was
class.
So
Why did they
played pretty much every single game.
Why did they get rid of him?
I mean, he was their worst.
Right,
player, but I mean they were awesome across the park.
It's weird because I was doing fancy football.
And I really liked him.
I'm not saying it. Yeah, I did as well.
That's a really good signing then.
And every year that there often is a team by November, you know they're going to go up.
Yeah.
And Wolves was that team, and he did. I thought he looked great.
He's a good player.
Jack Harrison,
so
he's a Man City player, so that looks exciting.
He was the one I was going to mention. We were joking about before. Like apparently he's really good.
Yeah.
So he's had David Villa made a comment about him saying, I've never seen him play, by the way, just saying. But David Villa made a comment saying
apparently he's class.
Apparently he's class, yeah. He said,
Spanish. What's that?
He said, I've been around the game a long time.
He's doing his voice. I've been around the game.
I've been around a bit. You know what I mean? He said I've been around the game a long time, and I can tell when a player's got the touch, the vision, and he's going to be a top player. Pirlo said that he'll play in Europe, and who's the other one? No,
he's fucking English.
Yeah, but
I mean, I play in Europe.
Do you?
Wait, was you on loan somewhere else last year?
He's at the he's in the MLS.
The MLS.
But anyway, I mean, these are pedigree.
These
These are pedigree people who are talking about him, aren't they?
Pedigree people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, well, I'll stop talking. But it's essentially like he's had recommendations from very high places.
Why
I wonder.
Where do you have him then?
So I don't. So Bielsa, right? I think he's in his last 3 appointments. He's managed, or 4 it might be. Forgive me if I got the stat wrong. He's only managed like 60 games amongst all of them.
Right.
He is supposedly brilliant because Guardiola said it and Pochettino said it, but he's also heavily volatile. So this could go really well, or it could go horribly wrong. And like a lot of Leeds managers, he could be out the door in 3 months.
Yeah,
it's Leeds.
Let's remember, 4 of these managers won't make it past November. It's fact, isn't it?
Statistically.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you why I've got them as 4th, and it's partly gut. I mean, there's a lot of these are really, but every single year I hear Leeds like being touted as up there, but their fans and by the media.
Yeah. And I don't think they were a million miles off last year. They had some good players.
I thought they were all hot air. And that's the thing.
They shat on us, but you struggled. Every
single year. You beat 3-0, didn't you, first game? That was the year before. Every single year I think Leeds, their fans are full of it.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of Leeds fans listening to this, but like they overestimate how good their team is.
Yeah.
This year I'm scared of them, and that gut feeling. That's why I put them.
Stick around it.
I'm not petrified of them.
Right.
But I genuinely think they'll be a decent side this season. I think they make good signings. I think they're in.
When you're doing your league table, you all of a sudden you go, I'm kind of going to form. There's got to be something weird. That's my weird one.
Was that yours?
I don't think it'll work out.
Okay.
I think Bielsa. I would be excited if I was a Leeds fan, and I'd be really excited with the players that they brought through. But if there's some chaos and he fucks off, then I don't think that's not going to work in a league as strong as this year.
I hope you're right.
So Leeds, I've got 11th, Norwich 10th, Sheffield United, I've got 9th. But I think a big part of that will be Chris Wilder if he stays the whole season. He's the new Gary Rowett. He's the new.
They're linked with a lot of players.
So I'm moving into my next tier here.
Yeah.
So my next tier is Brentford, Preston, Sheffield United.
All right.
So 7th, 8th, 9th, Brentford 7th, Preston 8th,
missing out.
Sheffield United 9th.
I've got Preston as 14th, and I think I'm perhaps being a little bit harsh.
14th. We've got a few. See, I know my stuff. We'll see at the end of the season.
But I think perhaps I'm being a little harsh, and also I know that I know a Preston fan who get wound up by it. So,
yeah, that's good. Yeah.
But essentially, like they are a small club. No, I'm joking.
No, but seriously,
I think they may. I just got this feeling they may struggle this year. But I applaud their transfer policy, bringing in players from divisions like from Irish clubs and from lower divisions.
I was so impressed with them last year.
They worked really bloody hard.
Yeah, they do. And I can't remember his name. I think he was a Man United.
The centre mid.
He's class.
The centre mid. I've forgotten his name.
One of the best players. You have that in a championship season when you don't know every single player. There are certain players you go, wow.
I've forgotten his name, but he was brilliant.
It's really annoying.
He ran the show, yeah.
He ran it against us. If you're a Preston fan and you're watching this or listening to this, please tweet us at GT4ABL. Just tell us who that player is because he's class. Yeah. And I think there's a bit of nastiness about them. I quite like that.
Yeah.
And I think they could surprise.
They knew the dark arts.
John, for next time, can you add the players that they lost on loan as well?
Yeah, of course.
Please. Yeah. Let's talk about Brentford. Because I think we know a bit more.
We're there at the end of the show.
Oh, really? They're tough at it. So I've got them 7th. Where do you see Brentford finishing this season?
I've got them 6th.
Yeah, so right.
Sneaking in, have you?
Yeah.
That's your heart talking, Dom.
I got you 6th as well.
Maybe not. No, have a look. I'm only one lower. Let people know about Brentford because I think that's a good thing about this podcast is that people go, well, they've got all the names, so they won't do anything. And I bet there's a lot of fans who won't put Brentford in the playoff mix. But
yeah.
Well, you've got something, and you're a really good team. Well,
I think the big thing with this season is that we still haven't got a centre forward. That's what I would say. I genuinely think if we had a centre forward, and I know Woods is now looking like he's going out to Swansea, I don't see a weakness.
How big a loss is that?
Well, Woods, I think that he allows.
Waiting for it though, weren't you?
Yeah, he allows us to play with less defensive midfielders. Because his use of the ball is so good, and the retention across the whole pitch is so good in that team.
He's almost two players because he's got the defensive side of things, but also the creative side of things.
Mm. Yeah,
he's the best player I saw in that league last season.
He has. He's got it all, and he's been fantastic for us. And if he goes, and I hope he does well. But
do you know what, for other teams as well, because you've lost a couple of players to playoff rivals.
Yeah.
John Egan, Sheffield United.
John Egan we sold for 4 million to Sheffield United. He's a good defender and he'll probably fit the Sheffield United mould a little bit better than he does us. He's our least technical player last season.
They've got good defence as it is. Well,
yeah, they got Jack O'Connell off us, and he didn't work for us because he didn't pass the ball very well.
Right. And
I think it'll work. We got rid of Bellend as well. He's gone back to Norway. Denmark. Sorry. And
does he know how expensive it is in Copenhagen?
That's to let him know. He bought and everything. So.
Yeah, sure.
Wages.
Basically, we've got rid of 2 defenders.
And Josephson's gone to Derby as well.
And we brought in 2 central defenders. I don't know how good the
Apparently he's class.
The French guy is. I've seen Conte play and he's very comfortable on the ball. The Charlton guy. But what
1.8 million is quite a lot for you guys.
Well, the others are more.
Undisclosed, it says here.
And we survive on selling players, and that's why it's almost certain we will sell Woods.
Right.
We said Watkins and Mepham won't go anywhere. I just think that we'll be too much for a lot of teams. I think that we're going to be leaving players like Judge on the bench. Alan Judge was sought after by Premier League clubs before his injury.
Yeah,
he'll be on the bench. We have comfortable players in the field that people don't even realise because they haven't played games, like McLeod, and the whole squad is.
What's your realistic / dream signing? If you could make one signing between now and next Friday, what position? I think it's forward, right? Anyone in particular?
It's really difficult.
Without
don't buy random players. You just trust the board.
Yeah, I think it would be a Scott Hogan, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
it would be it'd be that. If we had him, I think we'd
probably get him back for cheaper if you want.
I'd put us top 2.
You'd probably get him for 5 million.
Really, if you had a proper striker.
If we had a proper striker, I'd put us top 2.
You could probably get Hogan back for 5 million.
I don't think that's deluded at all. I think that's a fair point. I just think the Ryan Woods thing played on my mind a bit, and I just thought it does keep happening. You lose the key player just when you go, wow, this is a squad.
Yeah, but with Hotter last year and Hogan
and I wonder if that will cost you not just now, maybe in January, because January's going to be interesting because teams are going to go, right, we've got to do it now.
Yeah.
So and people do panic, and not just people panic in the Championship, people panic in the Premier League, and they'll pick up some players like an Ollie Watkins or whatever.
Yeah, and the one thing that because we'll move on, but the one thing that is interesting about an interview with Matthew Benham, the Brentford owner, was that he talks a lot about value and making the right investments, and he basically said that he'll only pump the money in if it's the right time to do it.
Right. He's ready to go.
If we're in January and we need a Mitrovic, and he thinks that small balance would tip over the line, he'll do it.
Right.
So
you mean business? Is that?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So finishing, you've got them 6.
I've got us a 6.
So this is my 6th to 3rd. So my playoff teams. I've gone for Swansea in 6th. I think they've got enough Premier League quality there, and I feel like, unlike previous seasons, I wonder about Swansea. They could be anywhere really, but I think if they've still got Wilfred Bonney, they've still got a lot of good players. Tom Carroll's a cracking player. They've lost a good few. They have lost a good few, but I still wonder. Graham Potter, massive season for him, like the new Swansea manager, obviously, and I'm intrigued to see how he can get on. And they have lost a lot of players. Fabianski, Rocky Meza, Carl Bartley to West Brom.
Andre Ayew gone in recently as well.
Has he?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think
Besiktas or something like that.
I might be wrong with this, but I just wonder if they've still got enough. I think they were linked with. They're gonna. Woods, isn't it? They're gonna.
Woods. Yeah.
So if they bring in Woods and Carroll, they should be able to dictate a lot of.
They've got the money.
Yeah, they should be able to dictate.
They're losing Alfie Mawson
to Fulham
for 20 million.
Is that a big loss? Is he that good?
No, but he's their best defender.
I mean, he is good, and he's a threat in both boxes. Not threat in his own box.
I got them as
yeah.
I got them as 5th.
You got him as 5th. Okay.
I've got him as lower than that. I've got him as
so yeah. So my 4, and this honestly, when I was going for, you got him 10th. That could easily happen. And the more I discuss it, the more I think, shit, what have I done? But the 4 I initially put in my tiers when I was going through the teams, my 4, and then that became my playoffs teams, were Forest, West Brom, Derby, Swansea. But I put it that way. So Forest a 3rd, Derby a 4th, West Brom 5th, and Swansea a 6th. West Brom, I think, will be. They could struggle a little bit, but I think in the second half of the season they'll come through, and I think they'll get a playoff spot.
I got them 7th.
I've got them 8th.
Really? Why?
kind of forgot about them a little bit.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm right on it at all. But
I don't buy the bullshit with Darren Moore. I don't buy that. I don't buy he's this fucking messiah just because he had good 6 games last season. Alan Pardew was dire, and sometimes just that a change is good as anything. He hasn't even got an assistant manager yet sorted, apparently.
I saw them at Chelsea, and there's a few players that were like I thought had the heart, and they've gone. Like James McLean, he's gone to Stoke. I thought he was the big threat against Chelsea, and the only player who really was.
Well, you know what you're going to get with James McLean, and sometimes that's easy to defend. As if you've got someone who's the same ilk as James McLean, who's just going to work hard. That's all you're really getting from James McLean. He's got one. He puts his foot down. That's it.
Yeah.
But he lacks a lot of quality. I think. So they work and not work sometimes.
What about they've still got Phillips?
So they've still got Mate Phillips. Yeah, they've still got good side.
They've still got Jay Rodriguez.
Sam Johnston's one of the best goalies in the Championship.
They got Rondon for the time being, although he's going to Newcastle.
I expect him to go. Yeah, I really would expect him to go.
Who else did they have?
Johnny Evans has gone.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine. I think they might have a little wobble initially, and it could be a bit like Steve Bruce last year, where they're going, "What's going on here?" But I think it's just acclimatising, and I think they got Livermore in that team, they got Barry in that team, who are not exciting, but they will get the job done.
I see Phillips maybe going.
Phillips is overrated.
I'm not saying he's a good player. I see he's a sort of player that will go for like 5 million to a average Premier League size.
I think he'd take it, but I think he has good delivery and he's got a good finish. He offers very little else, and so that will get he'll get his 6, 7, 8 goals a season.
Yeah, I've got them as.
I don't see them pushing for automatic at all.
I've got them as 7th, mainly because I kind of forgot about them. But the more I think about it, I feel that that's probably about right.
Okay, and you got them 10th. Why?
Is it
West Brom? You got West Brom 10th.
Yeah. I just feel that they weren't that great last season, were they? And as I say, I think they left.
I think that's a very good point.
Johnny Evans, who I thought was their best player, and McLean, who I thought was their heart.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
But I mean, like the people who are actually putting the shift in.
I know what you mean.
I think it takes a while to get rid of like that mentality and the dead.
I agree. Yeah, and that's why I think second half of the season they'll come good. And I'm not even sure. It'll be interesting if Darren Moore makes the whole season. But let's. So I've got Derby and Forest 3rd and 4th. Derby County, couple of Chelsea loanees here, Rowan. Mason Mount.
Well, they got first of all they got Super Frank.
Super Frank, yeah, who's not on loan. That's a permanent.
He's not
deal.
on loan. He's permanent with Jody Morris,
which is a crucial point to make because
very crucial.
He's had a great career at youth level.
Yep.
And as important as, and that's probably not a great barometer of how good he is because he's going to be working with great players. But more importantly, your contacts book is important. Sure. And when you go to these clubs, if you can get these guys on loan, like we were talking about earlier, then that's going to put it
this way: Chelsea will want Jody Morris back sooner rather than later. I think they would have already told him that. Held in such high regard,
really,
and we won 5 youth cups in a row. He wasn't.
But is that the system or is that him?
I think it's both.
Yeah,
I think it's both. But yeah, long story short, I think he said it, and then when the club put out a statement, it's goodbye for now. Because I really do think they see a big future for him, and this, him working with Lampard is kind of a match made in heaven. You could see that being something that is long term, not necessarily just at Derby.
Sam Allardyce.
Yeah.
And what I like about Derby this season.
Sorry, Mason Mount. Apparently he's class, but no, he actually is.
So what I've seen, apparently, Mason Mount is the best academy player that Chelsea have produced in the last 10 years.
Well, that's Hudson-Odoi, who I think will be that.
Well, that's not what I was
But Mason Mount,
Hudson is good.
Second half of the season for Vitesse Arnhem was the best player in the league, not just. Well,
there you go. And I think for me, whenever I looked at Derby in the last few seasons, I always thought they were a really talented team.
Yeah.
But I always used to think, Jesus, there's some deadwood in there. And I thought there's a lot of old players on very big wages which you could free up. And I feel like that what Frank Lampard's done since he joined is brought in a lot younger players, and so he now has the mix. There's probably a little bit more pace in there, And you got
Harry
players,
Wilson.
Harry
like?
Wilson.
Very exciting.
He's a very good
brilliant
player.
for Hull City last season on loan.
I know Jesusson. He was one of our best performers last year. Brentford, and they signed him off us.
And like you say, I actually think we drew with them and they were lacklustre against us. And
They
I thought
were so negative.
Yeah, and that's what they were saying about Gary Rowett, is that he offers that, and I do wonder about that. And we haven't got to Stoke; they're obviously in my top two, but I wonder about that with Gary Rowett. But I looked at that squad. I remember going, "Fucking hell!" They brought on Anya, they brought on Vidra, and they brought on Johnson. And there were other players on the bench who are Premier League quality.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that you got to marry right in the Championship, is that mix between those guys who've been there, done it, got the experience, and are clearly good enough, and then that bit of youthful exuberance. And I think everyone wants Derby to do well because of Lampard a little bit. So I think I've taken a little bit off that, if that makes any sense, just because I don't think it's always as easy as that.
So
but I do expect them to do well. I've got them fourth.
Same.
I've got them as fifth. So same game, isn't it?
Alongside them, third, Forest. A lot of people talking about Forest, and I think you should enjoy your moment here, Dom, because you called Forest very early doors.
It was early doors, wasn't it?
Did you put it on?
Obviously the season hasn't even started yet. But
Yeah, I mean,
You put a grand on, didn't you?
no, I didn't put anything on. I'm not allowed to. But
It's good. Yeah.
when I saw that Mendes was getting involved and Karanka was there, and then the picture was changing very slowly, and it just felt like there's going to be something happening along the same lines. I've got them second.
I have too.
Yeah, but what I would say is that if Wolves are anything to go by, they had a season where they bought loads of players in, and then it took an adjustment, and then they went for it. But I think that they've made some very good signings.
I feel a bit silly because you sent us all a message 2 months ago and said, or 6 weeks ago, and we went Forest, and it was 25-1 to win the league.
Yeah,
I didn't put it on,
I think,
but you could see what was coming, and some of these, I mean. There's the
Carvalho.
it's the Portuguese link again, right? It's the same as Wolves.
Well, I think, and people are going, wow, this is genius. They got a little bit lucky as well, because Portuguese football's in a bit of a mess, and they will take the money.
Yeah.
But they still have, in terms of value, it's there to be had. Carvalho, I expect to light it up this year, but the ones that I think have backed it up and are really impressive, because let's have it right. This Forest team needed a lot of work.
they did, definitely.
What I'm excited about, weirdly, is Michael Dawson, who can still do a great job in the Championship, and certainly alongside Jack Robinson, who's one of the most, honestly, is such a good footballer, with his feet, but also brave. Unbelievable last season for QPR. Graben, I always find him a bit boring, but he gets the job done, scored a lot of goals last season. And Jack Colback needs a bit of love, but is a cracking footballer.
It's a whole new team, that is.
And I think that could be the thing. It takes a while, but I mean, a lot of these names, like, I don't know how good they are, but there's probably a star in there, isn't it? If you're paying 13.2 million for one.
I think, and look at the teams here: Goncalves, Benfica, Figueiredo, Sporting Lisbon, Carvalho, Benfica,
AS Monaco.
You got Luis Diaz. Diaz, Ronan, a bit there. Gil Bastio Diaz.
Get it right, come on.
I think there's an opportunity there for them to do something really exciting, and Karanka is known for being very solid defensively, so that'll offer that side of it.
I had to say, was there not also? I didn't watch too much or know too much about Forest last year, but maybe some of these outgoing players they might regret, and someone's picked up a bit of a bargain.
I think a lot of them probably
they're all awful.
They're average.
Right. Ignore what I said.
No, it's fine, but it's a good question.
George Grant was supposed to be at one point a very good player.
Yeah, Luton Town on loan.
Now he's got to Luton Town on loan.
Not a good sign.
Yeah.
So right, top two. Who will be getting automatic promotion and who will be winning the Championship this season? I'm going for.
Wait, hang on. What did you do for second?
Second, I'm going for. I'm about to say it.
Oh, right,
I went Forest in a second.
Me too.
Right, you've got
already,
done
that.
Okay. Where have you got Stoke then? Because I've got for Stoke in second place, which means I'm putting Middlesbrough as the champions of the Championship
Well done,
this
Middlesbrough.
season.
That's extremely interesting because I got him 8th.
I've got this third.
Third.
I've got
What?
an 8th now. I've got it.
Incorrect for both of
I
you.
think they bottled it
Yeah.
already.
I think they're going to bottle it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is interesting. So, right, let's just talk about... So, second place, you've done Forest, right?
Yeah.
So, we haven't spoken about Stoke. So, I've put Stoke second. Stoke's squad is class. Too good for this
It's
division. However, they've lost a huge part of their team and a huge part of their attacking sense in Shaqiri. There's all this chat about Bojan being able to fix all that and him coming in and tearing it up again for them. We don't know if that's really going to happen.
Is he coming back?
He's back.
He's in the squad.
He's in the squad.
Stoke.
Shaqiri that much of a loss? I know he'll do really
He's
well
a
at
loss,
Liverpool.
He's a massive loss for Stoke because
But
he was frustrating
never
for
gonna
Stoke
be
and
the
probably
Championship.
part of the reason
Yeah.
why they went down, despite
too
having an
good.
okay season. But Ramadan Sobhi as well, who's someone who I think will tear it up in the Championship. They've lost him as well.
He looks ropey.
They have brought in Tom Ince, who is a perennial. He will have a career as a top Championship
He's
player.
missed the
but not-
Championship, isn't he?
He's missed the Championship.
I
He's-
cannot wait to go there for 2 weeks' time.
James McLean is. These are the signings, by the way. Benicavobi up top. I mean, he's good. He's good. I don't think he's amazing.
He's
gonna score
exactly
goals,
what they need because
He's gonna score
he's
goals.
a battering ram,
Let's go goals.
and he'll score 20 odd goals.
Tom Ince will do bits. That's fine. Tebow from Firenze. I don't know a huge amount about.
So
He was
6 mil.
He was brilliant.
Apparently it's class.
In the World Cup.
Craig and
in the World Cup, genuinely was very
Craig and the and his Stoke crew on
But
his
so was-
Stag said that he was class.
Yeah.
Like literally
And he said he was class.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Yeah.
And you said it as well, didn't you?
Well, I've seen him play. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wary
I
of
watched
the
the World-
World Cup being class in the World Cup, if I'm honest.
Okay. Yeah.
Or
No, that's fair
the
enough.
World
That's fair
Cup.
enough.
James McLean, you know we're going to get, but I think he can be stopped. Federici, I mean, who gives a fuck?
Have they got Shawcross still?
They've still got Shawcross. They've not really lost anyone that they apart from Shaqiri and Ramadan Sobhi that they would want to lose.
So they'll have Jesus playing centre midfield.
They'll have Joey Allen. I mean, I think they're.
I've got them first.
I've got them as top.
Right.
I think they'll go up. You've got them winning.
Yeah, I think they're going to win.
You
the
think they're
league.
going to win it?
Yeah.
I just think that Gary Rowett. I'm not sure I'm buying it for a team that is supposed to dominate. For teams that are supposed to be solid and get a win, that's a different team for me.
Okay.
Interesting.
What?
No, I'm just thinking through because I think Tony Pulis and Rowett are quite similar.
I agree. I just think so. I've put Borough to win it, and the reason I've put Borough to win it is because they haven't really lost anyone. Bamford was not always starting for them last season. I think Assombalonga is my pick for the top scorer this season.
They will lose Traore.
Yeah, he's going to Wolves.
He's going to go to Wolves.
Wolves for 20
If
million
he goes to
quid.
Wolves, then that is a loss. But I still think Aidan Flint is one of the best centre backs
Keep
in the league,
Traore. I'd agree with you.
and I think they probably had the best back four last season. If I'm honest.
Why don't they get Paddy McNair?
Paddy McNair, I don't really know why they bought him. I just think Pulis was kind of putting his stamp on that team last season. This season, I think they'll just bully the league.
I think they'll bottle it again about 8th.
8th? That's huge, mate.
I think
They're
they'll be up there. I don't see how they can't be with Pulis and the players they got.
I think they're up shit creek if they fucking finish 8th. Jesus, the amount of money they've spent.
Yeah.
I just think they'll be too strong. I think they'll bully the league. I think they're a bit more sort of. I think it's almost good to go out in the semi-finals sometimes in the season 4 in the playoffs, because I think if you lose in the final, I think there's a hangover to that. There's what could have been. Semi-finals this wasn't good enough. We need to step it up, and I think that Pulis will do that with Borough next season. I think they'll be champions.
Weirdly, that I'm thinking about, I'd rather go to Stoke than to Borough. In my head, as a Brentford fan right now, but
It's further.
Who's Adam Forshaw gone to, by the way?
He was at Leeds, wasn't he?
Leeds, yeah, he's gone Leeds. Leeds, I've got Leeds at 11th, and it could that could be totally wrong.
You got them 11th? Yeah, you balled it up there.
Well, maybe not. You don't know,
fucked up with Borough and 8th.
No, I did not.
We'll see. We will
We
see.
will see. Let's get a picture of these.
You just don't know,
Picture of
do you?
these.
Keep these, yeah. Right, so that's it. That is my 11.
Stoke
My
have,
11, my 24. Sorry.
Stoke have won it, I think.
Stoke will be getting
QPR have
promoted.
gone down,
Stoke are going up.
and Brentford have just missed out
Just
on
missed out
playoffs.
again.
Yeah. And Stoke are back up in the Premier League.
So we're going to cover 3 leagues
Chelsea down.
next season.
Chelsea down.
Of all, it's here. Final question. Final question. Of all of these teams, which one are you adamantly certain about?
What, in terms of position?
Yeah.
Oh, Nottingham Forest.
What in what? In what?
Second.
In second.
You can't pick Rotherham.
I'm not that's
Be positive. Look at the top half.
Okay. I'll tell you what I will say. I'm going to say I'm positive that Leeds will finish in the playoffs.
Wow.
What's yours?
Stoke will be promoted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Said mine.
What was yours?
Nottingham Forest.
Oh yeah.
Promoted.
Brave.
Let's go with that.
Brave. Right. That's it.
Predictor.
What a season to come.
That is the Championship Predictor. That is Great Touch for a Big Lad. Going into our sixth season. Fucking hell, lads, we're getting old. But people are just starting to figure out how good Great Touch for a Big Lad is. You're welcome.